Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Dominic and Charlotte to come to the stage to deliver their valedictory speech. Are you coming together or are you coming separately? Separately. Who am I inviting first? Charlotte.
Is that all good? Okay. One time there was a little girl. She didn't go anywhere without her favourite blanket, and she was scared of thunderstorms. She read books and wore bright pink glasses, and her highlight of the year was always the Weet-Bix triathlon. The hardest decision she had to make was what ice cream flavour she wanted, or when to go to bed. This little girl was me, and I didn't have a care in the world. At the time, it seemed like an eternity until I hit Year 7 and strapped on my McKinleys and walked into Mrs. Krautz's Year 7 class. I looked forward to this day for months. I tried on my cool new uniform every opportunity I got and practiced my first day of school hairstyle weeks before the big day. As I look back now, I didn't quite nail the hairstyle, but the excitement I was experiencing was spot on, because the next 7 years of my journey were about to become my favourite so far. In hindsight, I can see the time fly by, and the slice of innocence I once had gone too. I now stand here, 18 years old, still scared of thunderstorms, but now very, very scared to grow up. However, growing up alongside the class of 2021 has been the best experience I could have asked for. Together, we walked into Aquinas as the small fish in a big pond, and now we are quite the opposite. We have finally grown into our McKinleys and are ready to step out into the big, wide world. There are many reasons why I'm proud to be an Aquinian, but what makes me proudest is to be in a year group alongside each one of you. Each one of us comes together to make our year group special. We haven't been a year to just pass by. We've excelled. We've made a difference, and most importantly, we've been kind. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful to be a part of our year group, our family. The ups and the downs that we have experienced together have made high school so memorable. So much so that if I could do year 14 with all of you guys, I would take the opportunity in a heartbeat. I wish Aquinas was a movie, so I could relive it every moment I could. If it was, I would definitely rewind to Year 9, where social studies was the highlight of the week, and we accidentally lit the science room wall on fire. Or the Year 12 ski trip, or my Year 10 French class, or even the countless physics lessons where Mr. Singh has to tell me to stop talking. However, what I want to rewind to the most, record it and play it back 100 times, would be Year 12 retreat. Not for the food, and not even for the year group game of Spotlight, but when we were all lying there, reflecting on how far we'd come. There was sad music playing, and of course, I was crying. We were given the chance to show how much we appreciate everyone. It was a love fest, filled with hugs and high fives, and I've never felt happier to be a part of the family we have created. I know I'm going to cherish that moment for the rest of my life. Every head student speech comes with a huge list of thank yous. Normally this was the time I went, yeah, you have to do that. But now I realise, no one can experience Aquinas the way I have without the support network wrapped around me. I know I will never be able to thank these people enough, but here goes. Thank you to the student executive, to Miss Grayling and to Ms. Jefter, for all your support this year, for listening to our crazy ideas, showing up at 8:20 every Tuesday, and allowing us to make our year one to remember. To Terry, Isaac and Sia, some of the hardest workers, funniest and strongest leaders I know. To Dom, thank you for your crazy but cool ideas, making me chill out a bit, for the inspirational speeches and continuing to inspire me with your leadership skills. To Mrs. McManaway, thank you for handing out the greatest advice, for making tutor class fun, and the CMC Whanau one to remember. To Mr. Dalton, one of the best hockey coaches I know, I don't think you get enough praise for how hard you work, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you this year. I've also been blessed with so many amazing teachers over my time at Aquinas. Their passion and joy for their subject and the college is inspiring. They all come with a wealth of knowledge and advice which has shaped me into the person I am today. From Mrs. Krautz and Mr. Vanbury showing me the ropes in year 7 and 8, to Mr. Boyle's OG tutor class, to the science teachers putting up with me now, especially Mr. Singh, who's dealt with me for the past 3 years. Every teacher at Aquinas makes an impact on our journeys, so thank you. You all make our school a step above the rest. And finally, to my parents. Okay. My parents have been the greatest supporters I could have asked for throughout my Aquinas journey. They have taken me on the coolest adventures, shipped me off to Outward Bound, given me Ranger jeans, and, sorry Mr. Dalton, been the best hockey coach and manager duo I know. They have shaped me into the person I am today, and I can't wait for the day that I am as cool as them. So thank you, Mum and Dad. You're awesome. To the class of 2021, we've come a long way together, and I've loved every second of it. We haven't fallen short, we've made our mark, and I can safely say we've improved since the dreaded days of Year 10. From police officers, to film animators, to data scientists, just to name a few, we've all grown to find our path, and I'm so excited to see each of us flourish into our new lives. I know now I'm not saying goodbye to my Aquinas family, but it sure is a sad see you around. As my childhood hero Winnie the Pooh once said, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? And I am. I count myself truly lucky to have met you all, and to go into the big, wide world alongside my Aquinas family. Time is never going to be put on hold. I wish it was, but it waits for no one. But that is what memories are for, to teach us, to remind us, to get us through the bad days and motivate us through the good ones. Thank you, Aquinas, and thank you to each of you for helping me create so many of these memories. I am forever proud to be an Aquinian and forever proud to be part of the class of 2021. Thank you.
So if there's one thing I've learned from my time at Aquinas, it's that everyone prefers a short, sharp speech. So I'm going to throw that out the window and make you guys probably zone out that you're going to forget that I'm talking. So like Charlotte said, I guess I'll start off with my thank yous to where they are due. If I'm not thanking you, you can just pretend that you're listening, because if it's not about you, then who really cares? So first of all, thank you to my parents. Thank you for always being there for when I needed you. Whether it's for advice or for just someone to talk to, I owe you everything. You've become such an important part of my life, and I will forever be grateful for what you've provided me with and the values I've been brought up with. Words cannot describe how thankful I am for you, but I got a time limit, so I have to move on. Thank you to my fellow student executive. We've had a great team around us this year, and Charlotte and I can both agree that we wouldn't have wanted anybody else. Thank you to Sia and Isaac. Both of you are the hardest working people I've ever met. You two have pushed everyone around you to be a better leader. You two always got the ball rolling with any ideas you come up with, and I know both of you will go very far in life. It has been awesome to become closer with you two, and I will hold our friendship very close to my heart. Thank you to Tiwi. It has been an honour growing up with you, bro. I've enjoyed every single moment I've spent with you. T, you're one of the most real people I've ever met. You're one of my closest friends, and I'm very sad that I'm not going to be with you next year. Your kind nature and your overall mana gives you the respect that everyone is looking for. Thank you to Charlotte. You've been a great inspiration for me this year. You always push me to be a better leader, be more organised, and somehow show me the ropes of this role, even though we got thrown both into the same boat. Your kind character, your enthusiasm towards everything you do is very contagious. You are an amazing leader, and it's been an absolute privilege to lead alongside you this year. Thank you to Miss Grayling, Miss Cooney, and the entire SLT. All of you assisted me this year in some way or another. I could come to you with anything if I needed help, and you would know the right answer. You're all amazing people, and Aquinas is lucky to have you at the bow of the ship. But most of all, thank you to my year group. You guys can listen now if you want. Thank you for putting your trust in me. I appreciate the relationships I have with you all. My new friends, my old ones, I will forever be grateful, and I've cherished the time I've had here at Aquinas. And I thank you for growing me into the young man I am today. I have found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Now I'm sure while you were applying to universities, picking your majors, and deciding what you wanted to do with your life, people would have told you, you have to have something to fall back on, you know? Make sure you have something to fall back on, son. But I've never understood that concept. Having something to fall back on. I don't want to fall on anything. I want to fall forward. I figured at least this way, I will see what I'm going to hit. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career, but you don't hear about the misses. People remember the greatness. Fall forward. In year 9, I was a bit of a menace to society. I was getting in trouble, sent outside, doing a few rangos, Mr. Clappies, all that stuff. But after getting told off one too many times, I had time to reflect on myself. I decided to pull my head in and work on my behavior. I clearly remember sitting in the office and looking up to the plaque with the previous head students, and I set myself a goal. That is what I wanted to do with my last year at Aquinas. And thanks to all of you, I took the risk to apply, and now I've completed that goal. Fall forward. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There is no doubt about it. I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but I'm telling you to embrace it, because it's inevitable. The point is, every graduate here has the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? You see, it's not the failure that stops us, but that most stop at the first fail. Those who succeed don't stop at 1 failure, 10 fails. They don't stop at 100, 1,000, or 1 million. They say, this is my goal, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to achieve it. There's an old saying, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So if you feel like giving up, just remember God has a plan. He has a set path for you. Even when you feel like it's unfair, you have just got to ride it out. I promise you, it will get better. It's all part of a plan. And that's why your parents sent you here, to a Catholic school. The values we've learned will help you overcome the battles further in your life. Like everyone in this room, we each have choices. And the choices that we make can reshape, remold, and redefine our future. Nobody in your life will tell you what you can do. They'll only ever tell you what you can't. And it's your obligation to prove them wrong. Before I revisit a message I told you all last year from my head boy application speech, I just want to remind you of how much of an impact you have had on me. How much all of you have inspired me. How thankful you have made me for being part of such an amazing year group. Every single one of you has inspired me in some way or another. You're such amazing human beings, and I'm so thankful for the relationships I have with you all. All right, here we go. What I've come to realize is that everyone has a difference. That's what makes all of us unique. I think that's why a year group is so unique. We are all different. And that's what this is about. Not my point of difference. It's about yours. Each and every one of you has a role to play. All of your differences are what makes our year group so diverse. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for not making us another year group that has passed through Aquinas mindlessly. Without all of you, we wouldn't have a year group to call our own. All of you bring something different to Aquinas that makes it stronger. Our differences, if you haven't realized, is what brings us closer. Thank you.
We now move on to what is always a highly anticipated part of our traditional prize giving. This year, obviously, it's only with our Year 12 students in attendance and some staff, but I'm sure watched by many people at home or in their workplace right now as well. I have the opportunity to present to you our 2022 student executive. So this morning I will announce the 19 students who will constitute next year's student executive. There will be a further 14 committee leaders who will work alongside the student executive to form the wider Year 13 student leadership team, and they will be presented to our school community at the beginning of next year. As a way of introduction, to be considered for these leadership positions, students had to make an application to which portfolios they would like to lead. The Year 12 students and staff then voted, with these votes carrying equal weighting. With other factors being considered and further consultation ensuing, we are now at the point where I can announce our student leaders for 2022. And Mr. Kennedy as the Deputy Principal of the Senior School and Mrs. Jeffer as the Assistant Principal of the Senior School will award or present our badges for our 2022 Student Executive. Have I built enough suspense? I'm going to start with the 2022 head girl, who will be Tiana Cartwright. I'm conscious of clapping. No, if I clap, it sort of disrupts the live stream, doesn't it? No, can't play. Okay, head boy for 2022, Jude Farrell. Thank you, Year 12 students, for your tautoko of our head students for 2022. I now move on to the first of our deputy head students, deputy head girl with responsibility for special character portfolio, Paige Mackay. Second deputy head girl and Cluny House captain, Emma Tran. Deputy head boy and with responsibility for the house and middle school councils, Scott Clark. And in a slight change from our structure of this year, a fourth deputy head student, deputy head boy, and Clooney House co-captain, Harrison McGregor. On to the rest of the student executive. First member with responsibility for the academic portfolio, Anthony Death. With responsibility for the arts portfolio, India Mahi. With responsibility for the cultural portfolio, Thea Smith. With responsibility for the environment portfolio, Erin McCarthy. With responsibility for the health and well-being portfolio, Georgie Gash. With responsibility for the sport portfolio, Spencer Wills. Student Executive Member and Student Trustee to the Board, Krishman Kark. Now our house captains. We already have our Clooney House co-captains up here. Brown House co-captains, Nathaniel Barry and Rachel Shirley. Foy House co-captains, Sam Rush and Nina DeLonga. Last but certainly not least, Henepori House co-captains, Noah Callett and Brianna McGrory. Ladies and gentlemen, young men and women of Aquinas College, I present to you the Year 13 Student Executive for 2022. So now, just inviting Charlotte and Dom to come forward with the leadership candle, who can symbolically pass on the mantle of leadership to our head students for 2022, Tiana and Jude. Well done, guys. Thank you. Go back to your seats. As we've said multiple times, the student executive is a representative of your wider Year 13 group. You are all leaders. They are your representative leaders that will work closely with our staff team to continue to drive initiatives for our college forward for our students. Okay, young men and women of Aquinas College, we are down to our final 11 recipients. It is my privilege to read to you the 2021 Year 13 Premier Award winners, and Mrs. Grayling, we're getting our money's worth out of her tonight. She is going to present these awards. It seemed most appropriate as your Dean for her to feature so heavily in this prize giving. Now, our prize winners for this award will come from your seats. I will call your name. If you can come in behind me, stand beside Mrs. Grayling while I read what you have achieved. Starting with Megan Cheatham. Okay. Megan is the recipient of an Excellence Award for Year 13 Mathematics with Statistics, but she's primarily on stage in this Premier Awards section to receive the Gorman Cup, which is awarded to a student who has demonstrated diligence and perseverance through their time at Aquinas College. Next recipient is Maggie Blackmore. Maggie receives this evening the Mentor Class Service Award for Brown House, and she also received the Considine Cup for exemplifying leadership and initiative outside of the student executive for a female in Year 13. Joseph Vincent. Joe receives the Ko Te Tangata Scholarship worth $5,000. He receives an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Economics. He receives the Eglinton Cup for the top academic achiever in Level 3 Sports Science, and primarily is on stage tonight to receive the Ryman Cup for exemplifying leadership and initiative outside the student executive for a male student. Lucy Decker. Lucy receives Attitude and Effort Awards in Year 13 Mathematics with Calculus, Year 13 Media Studies, Year 13 Physics, and Year 13 Religious Education. She's also the recipient of an Excellence Award for Year 13 English. She receives the Webb Cup for the Senior Volleyball Player of the Year. She receives the Volleyball Most Valuable Player for the Senior A Girls team. And she receives the Lee Cup for optimism and contribution to the college. Athanasia Hay. Athanasia receives an Attitude and Effort Award in Year 13 Economics. She receives an Excellence Award in Year 13 English. She is the Mentor Class Service Award recipient for Fully House. She is a recipient of a University of Otago Leaders of Tomorrow Scholarship valued at $10,000. She receives the Stravelli Cup for the top academic achiever in Level 3 History. And she receives primarily tonight the Loretta Walton Cup for outstanding leadership and service. Dominic Pacino. Dominic receives tonight the Braid Cup for the Senior Basketball Player of the Year, male. He receives the College Medallion for Head Boy, and he receives the Skidmore Cup for the greatest example of student leadership in Year 13. Jade Hetutu. Jade is a recipient of an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Biology, an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Chemistry, and an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Faith in Action. She receives a University of Otago Māori Entrance Scholarship valued at $13,000. She receives the Netball Touchstone Award. She also receives the Jackson Reeves and Freese Cup for the top academic achiever in Level 3 English. She receives the Thorn Cup for top academic achiever in Year 13 Mathematics. And primarily tonight she is on stage in this section for the Ray Scott Trophy for outstanding contribution to Pacifica leadership and service. Good luck carrying all that, Jade. We may need some assistance. Whetū marama timu. Whetū marama receives an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Music. She receives an Excellence Award for Year 13 English. She receives the College Cup for Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Te Reo Māori, and she is primarily on stage this evening to receive the Brendan Sholem Trophy for outstanding contribution to tikanga Māori. Whetū marama? Am I, how am I? Thank you for your tautoko for Whetū marama there. The next recipient this evening is Charlotte Watson. Okay, Charlotte this evening receives an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Biology, an Excellence Award for Year 13 Mathematics with Statistics. She receives the University of Otago Leaders of Tomorrow Scholarship valued at $15,000. She is also the recipient of the Bob and Joy Owens Scholarship, valued at $15,000. She receives the College Medallion for Head Girl. She receives the Spirit of Chanel Trophy for the greatest positive contribution to the college's participation in Chanel Shield. She receives the McNabb Trophy for the Senior Hockey Player of the Year Female. She also receives, co-awarded with Lucy, the most valuable player of the year for Senior A Girls. She is also on stage for the Fenella Craig Trophy for the greatest all-round participation in college life. Next recipient is Isaac Jardin. Isaac is on stage this evening receiving an Excellence Award for Year 13 Biology. He receives the Victoria University Kahotia Scholarship for Outstanding Achievements, valued at $35,000. He receives the Christella Cup for Outstanding Contribution to Music. He receives the Armstrong Cup for Outstanding Contribution to Drama. He receives the Murray Cup for Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Music. He receives the Father Joe Stack Cup for Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Religious Education. He receives the AFS Trophy for Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 French. He receives tonight the Bishop's Cup for the greatest contribution to special character. And he is primarily on stage at this point for the McCord Family Cup for being the Proximea Kesset of the college. I'll give you a chance to go put those trophies somewhere, Isaac. Now I'm going to invite Charlotte and Isaac back to the stage. There's one more award that Charlotte and Isaac are receiving. It is a co-awarding. This is not something the college has ever done before, but when we looked at the criteria for this award and we looked at the body of work, the contribution to college life, the contribution to our community, we could not split these two students. So for the first time in the college's history, a co-awarding of the Aquinas College Touchstone Award to Charlotte and Isaac. Now I'm just asking Isaac and Charlotte to wait there, and I'm going to invite our final recipient to the stage, and there'll be no surprises what she is going to win, because it is the last award of the college. Libby Manning. And following Libby's reception of her awards, I'm going to invite Isaac and Charlotte back to the stage, because as is becoming custom in the college, for us to tautoko our Ducks and our Touchstone Award recipient with an appropriate response. So Libby is on stage this evening. She receives an Attitude and Effort Award for Year 13 Food Technology. She receives an Excellence Award for Year 13 Accounting, an Excellence Award in Year 13 Media Studies, an Excellence Award for Year 13 Visual Art Design. She receives a University of Canterbury Hiranga Scholarship for Academic Excellence valued at $5,000, but I'm told that she was the recipient of $48,000 worth of university scholarships, but this is the scholarship she is accepting to go to the University of Canterbury. She receives the Real Accounting Cup for the Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Accounting, the O'Connor Cup for Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Biology, the Media Studies Cup for Top Academic Achiever in Media Studies. She receives the Grace Cup for the Top Academic Achiever in Level 3 Art Design, but she is primarily on stage this evening because she is your Year 13 Ducks, the Aquinas College Ducks for 2021, Libby Manning.
Hey, 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 tama tu, tama ora, o te wairua.